Jason, tell me about your nonprofit. What is it? Who's it for? And how can people get involved?
Yeah, so Guardian Grounds Ranch is similar to Hidden Valley in the sense that we don't really have a ranch. It's a dream. It's a goal one day. I was going to say Hidden Valley. Guardian Grounds started, me and my wife, we were driving to College Station one night, and I had a dream maybe 3 nights ago that I had started. This is before IRONCLAD, right? This is before the business side. This is the nonprofit side. And I had a dream that we had started a nonprofit to help first responders. And I kind of kept it to myself because we had a lot on our plate at that time. What we thought we had a lot on our plate. Now we really have a lot on our plate. We had a lot on our plate at that time. And so I didn't want to spring like this huge undertaking on her, you know, because she's always told me like, slow down. And we're driving and she's like, I had this crazy dream last night. And I was like, yeah. I was like, what was it? And she's like, we had a ranch and like, we just helped first responders. And I'm like, helped them what? You know, like helped them camp, helped them fish, helped them hunt. And she's like, I don't know. She's like, I think like we just did like counseling appointments and we had like counselors on site, but then there were like families that were camping there too. And she's like, it just seemed like it was a really cool thing to do. And I was like, it's funny you say that because a few nights ago I had that. And so I called Michelle Timofont from Shield Bearers the next day. And I was like, I have this crazy idea and I'll probably need your help because it's somewhere along mental wellness. And I don't know how feasible it is, but I was wondering if I could talk to you about it. And she's like, yeah, sure. And so she's probably gonna get mad at me because I'm gonna dime her out here in a second. But she's like, yeah, sure. She's like, what you got? And so I told her, you know, and then I told her about Patty. And she's like, no way. She's like, you both like had that? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, about a week ago, she's like, I had a dream that we opened up a facility and I was working for you. I'm like, that's crazy. You know, that's just wild. This person who's completely uninvolved from my wife and I, and we didn't talk at that level at that time. And so I was like, man, this is a reality. This has to happen. This has got to happen. And so we went to the concert or whatever, and we didn't really think too much of it. And then the next day, it was still stewing, and I said, I think I want to do it. I think I want to jump in and see what it takes to do a nonprofit, right? See what it looks like to apply for one and deal with IRS and deal with all of that garbage, right? And so we went down that road, man, and it's been absolutely a wild, wild ride, but it's been so cool. The premise is based on pretty much the same premise as my for-profit, and that is getting mental health services out to individuals who need them. And that's mainly volunteer fire departments and volunteer firefighters who don't have insurance through their fire department, and their family members and veterans as well. So I know the VA does their thing, and there's good resources within the VA. I'm not gonna knock on that, but sometimes those individuals don't want to go through the VA. They want to go through something different. So that's what we do. We sponsor their counseling appointments through our contracted counseling services, and that's been really cool because there's been a lot of spouses that don't have insurance because they don't have a job, and their husband or wife were veterans, and now they're out, and so they don't have the ability to go get counseling services. So we pay for those. We pay for those counseling services for their kids, and too. And so there's play therapy available, art therapy, canine therapy, whatever kind of therapy you can think of. Those are the contracted services that we offer. And then beyond that, what we do for a preventative measure is we do sponsored hunting and fishing trips too. And so we have quite a list already of folks that are interested in going. We have 2 ranches, if you don't mind, shout them out real quick. We have Rockin' H Ranch with Jed Holt out in Buffalo, Texas. And then we have Jay and Jim Hawkins with Stone Creek Ranch out in Menard, Texas. And those 2 individuals have opened their ranches up to us to allow us to use it for our veteran and first responder hunts. And just to allow us to have time to connect on an outdoor nature kind of relationship has been amazing, and make connections that last a lifetime, because now you still text those dudes that you spent 3-4 days with. Yeah. and hung out with. And so Guardian Grounds has been a huge blessing, and I hope it grows. I hope people notice what we're doing. We do a lot. We do so much with so little. Like I said, we just started 2 years ago, and we run on a very lean budget right now. All of our staff I say staff, it's our committee, right? We're all volunteers. So 100% of what we get in goes right back into the program. None of it comes off the top for payroll or anything like that. Every person on the board, every person on the committee is a veteran, first responder, or spouse of. And so that was important for me too, is to keep the mission aligned. And we have a big event coming up, if I can. The Texas Association of First Responders, they're doing their annual cook-off. We partner with them. We partner with that organization. And it's April 10th and 11th at the Waller County Fairgrounds. And it's an absolutely amazing organization similar to ours. They deal with the physical injuries and we deal with the mental injuries. And I'm looking forward to seeing people out there and checking out our new merch that's on the table right there, and hanging out and having those difficult conversations that I like to have.
So this place, this sanctuary, this getaway that could help so many first responders on so many different levels. When I think about a first responder's schedule, when you know, those 3 days off, you could take those 3 days with your spouse and go to your ranch and be able to get the marriage help that they need. Their schedule, leans to letting them have the time to prioritize themselves, their marriages, their mental health. And I feel strongly about it. I think you have something really special here. And there's other organizations that do dream hunts for first responders and veterans and that sort of thing. But this place that you're talking about doing, having the resources and the help there, it's not just a getaway. It's a place to go where you have experts in these fields to help them specifically with what they're going through. So if someone was listening to this right now and had a whole bunch of acreage they're willing to donate towards this, or if they just want to write a check, or if there's a first responder watching this, someone wants to volunteer once this is up and going, because obviously you're going to need cooks, you're going to need people in the background helping out, with the different activities that you have. How do they get a hold of you, Jason?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a business money aspect to it, right? I mean, that's part of the gambit that we have to trudge through and that we're working on. I had a huge donor come up this last year. At the end of the year, we were hurting, pretty much bailed us out, and that's amazing that we're able to survive now. But we need more corporate sponsorships. We need more donors, even if it's $10 a month. Like it adds up exponentially. It sounds cliche, but it adds up exponentially. It can help pay for clinician appointments for sure. And so reaching out, they can reach out at my email address, jason@guardiangrounds.org. They can visit the website, guardiangrounds.org, and there's all kinds of different methods to reach out on that too. There's also ways to donate online if you'd like to. Really, our end goal is to have land, and it is to build that oasis. I want to host, family workshops. I think that's absolutely integral. I think that hosting marriage retreats is awesome. Doing some maybe guided fishing, doing some camping, hosting concerts out there, just doing all kinds of cool stuff at this ranch and making it, cost effective for that family, if not free of charge completely, is my end goal. And you're right, there are organizations out there that do that right now to some extent, but I kind of like to think I've taken this dream of taking things from each one and then putting it into its own kind of realm, right? And I read something the other day that talked about collaboration between these wellness services and how important that is, because I don't want to get off on a tangent too much, but there's a lot of competition right now in the wellness world, and it gets really nasty really quick, and that's disheartening to me. And I want to be the collaborator. I want to be the one that plays nice up at the top with everyone else and make sure that we're all on the same page moving forward. Yeah. And I think that the end goal of this ranch would be that for sure. And so, if there's land out there to be donated, I mean, it doesn't have to be 100 acres. It could be 20 acres, and we could start there and move from there. But something to that magnitude would be absolutely game changing for the nonprofit.
I'm so excited to see this dream become a reality and what it's going to become in the future. Yeah, it's so needed. So thank you, Jason.
Yeah, thank you.